Upgrade to wiper blades built for the winter, only available at Walmart. Michelin Endurance XD silicone wiper blades. They last 2 times longer than other blades. So Hollywood couples almost always end in divorce, but they start really well. And what happens is 2 good-looking people, because, you know, what basically actors do is they pretend for a living. And so they go on a movie set, and she's pretending to do something, and he's pretending to be a pirate. And they're pretending, and then they sometimes hook up and have kids who are baby pretenders, and everything's going great, and the careers are great as they pretend to be stuff they're really not. They don't really write it. They just perform it, and they're good-looking, and their cheekbones are perfect. And then one of their careers kind of, and then they don't like each other. Because, you know, actors, then instead of pretending, they really get a divorce because all of a sudden there's bumps in the road and it's not perfect and the careers aren't on fire and everybody doesn't love them and they're not adored. And what am I talking about? Smart, good-looking, successful people. It's very easy to get along because people just stand at your feet and tell you how great you are. And Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur, I saw a story this morning, they're just getting along great. Well, yeah, because they don't throw interceptions or get sacked because they played 4 crappy defenses. They've faced the 30th, 29th, 28th, and 26th ranked defense, and they've scored 30-plus points in all their games. Of course Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur are getting along. If they weren't getting along, you'd have real problems. You know when Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers never argued? You know when you never heard about their relationship going south? The year they won the Super Bowl and the year after they went 15-1. In fact, I've got an actual quote here. Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not picking on him, but he loved Mike McCarthy early. In fact, his quote was, you know, starting in 2010, that was the year they won the Super Bowl, Thursday afternoon, Mike and I would spend anywhere from 90 minutes to 4 hours, talk about football and life, lessons, thoughts, and dreams. I really appreciated that time with Mike, getting to know him on a personal level. Mike McCarthy and Aaron would spend 4 hours together just talking about life and stuff. Because in 2 years, nobody could really beat them. I want to see Green Bay and Aaron this weekend face Tampa. That's a real defense. Aaron's going to get sacked. He may get intercepted. They're going to have a lot of 3 and outs, and it's going to be ugly. And that's when a Hollywood couple can last. After the bomb, his career dovetails. She's the shining star in Hollywood, and he's now a character actor and can't get jobs. Then let's see how you get along. Let's see how these guys get along when they're not 13-3 last year. And let's see how they get along. Because they didn't get along very well when Jordan Love got drafted. They got along at the end of last year, and they're getting along now, and they're playing bad defenses, and everything is great. And I am not saying they can't win the game, and I am not saying they won't get along, but everybody gets along when your career's on fire and you're winning. And by the way, Brady tolerated all that Belichick stuff. Did you ever notice this? Until all of a sudden they couldn't find a wide receiver for Tom. He started getting frustrated. And they lost to Tennessee, and his pick sixes went up because his receivers couldn't separate. And Edelman's drops the last 2 years in New England skyrocketed. And Gronk got old. And suddenly 18 years of listening to his mentor, Bill Belichick, he didn't want to listen to it quite as much. It wasn't as much fun. Patrick Mahomes looks pretty good, and Lamar looks pretty good, and the AFC's better, and Buffalo's better, and Edelman's dropping it, and Gronk is old, and we can't draft a wide receiver. And suddenly Bill didn't get along, and Tom didn't get along. Like, they didn't want to hear Bill bark at him all the time and call him out in front of the team. And everybody gets along when it's great, and you're winning in the NFL. It's like Jay Glazer always says. It's 2 different leagues. It's the you're driving to the stadium knowing you're going to win today, or there's driving to the stadium know you need to play perfect to win today. One's a great life and the other one is miserable. It's a miserable existence in the NFL, driving to the stadium knowing. And by the way, when Aaron's, and I'm not blaming Aaron, but when he and McCarthy started losing games and Aaron couldn't win as many playoff games, then all of a sudden those 4-hour conversations where they talked about life and dreams turned into about 60 minutes of uncomfortable. All right, yeah, okay, yeah, you bet. I got to go. Come on. 2010, he's talking about, oh, we spent 4 hours together. Yeah, you went 15-1. Then the previous year you won a Super Bowl. Everybody gets along in the NFL that way. Everybody. Tom and Belichick, when they're Randy Moss and Welker and Super Bowls and scoring and Tom's numbers, and They got along great. Not so great when Edelman started dropping it and Gronk started getting old. Okay, Joel Klatt and Will Blackman next hour. Will is a wine sommelier. He's very smart. And Joel Klatt, he just thinks he knows a lot about college football. Somebody at this company has got to set Joel Klatt straight. This is my job. This is what I've been born to do. Take Joel Klatt and kind of, this is the way you should think. He doesn't want to listen, but hope you enjoy that. Plus, Emmanuel Sanders is stopping by today. Danny Green, who on games... One night in L.A., they couldn't stand him. The next night, they loved him. Danny Green missed a little three-pointer, no good. Next night, wearing a crown, we love him. That's coming up.